Time Bomb, and if it's your first time checking out the channel, hit that subscribe button to catch all the updates. Thanks a lot for joining me here today. A little late, but I am doing a tier list for Season 6 of the SCL here, so let's get right into it. My tier lists have always been very accurate. I feel like I got the top 4 predicted last season as well, like usual, but I was a little wrong because the tiebreaker went to Savrip, so they were able to get ahead there. Okay, so let's get into it anyway. For this season and my perfect prediction, let's look. First, consistency every season for so long. Baywatch is right there. So I feel like they, again, will probably be in the top 4, and they are an S-tier team, even though they have had to regroup a little bit this season, do a little more recruiting. Definitely gonna finish in that top range in my estimation. Okay, another team here that had to reform, but it still stayed very strong, retained most of its core, and added to it with a HOD ending up splitting up and kind of going to 2 different directions. All the NA players have gone on to play on Notorious Tempest, and I see them being one of the top finishers this season like they have been for many before. The one difference I think here is the other way that the HOD had split up. The UK players went to Aluminium. They had to fight to earn their spot in Elite, and they did. And I do think they will be pushing that S tier, but right now in this one, I'm going to put them in that A tier to start it off. A team in Elite that is going to be fighting to stay in Elite this season. And we'll see if they can do it. It's going to be Orange Squadron. They've reformed heavily. They're more Australian-based now, and they've got a lot of tough competition, and maybe the deepest field that the Elite division has ever seen in SCL, because we're going to see this. Look at this team. A new team, Wildcard, who won the Challenger last season. I see them as an A-tier team, possibly pushing to finish in that top 4, and maybe even getting a top 4 against some of these more experienced teams. Now, who else? Another team who I thought was top 4 last season. They just missed that play-in by tiebreaker. CA Blue. I'm going to put them right there. I regard them as one of the best teams. They've been consistent for so long. And I don't think they should be regarded right up there with Baywatch and Tempest, because they've been as consistent as long. They're right there with them. I think they're on their level. I'm putting them right up there. A team who many might think should be there, but I think it's a toss-up. I'm going to go with Savrip. Team who as well, just like CA Blue for a long time, has been pushing that, has made that top 4 many times. Is right there with CA Blue last season and won the tiebreaker to make the top 4. And they could easily be right there, but I think it kind of shows how deep it really is. They could. We'll see as this goes. I may push them up to 8. We'll see as I'm going through this. I might need it. Might need to put them there. I don't know. Another new team who I would put easily in that A, Storm Chasers. I mean, I feel like they just finished just behind Wildcard, I believe, last season. They're right there with them. Maybe I'm wrong, and they actually were the top. I can't remember now. Let's say they're right there with Wildcard, I think right behind them. And they're another strong team that I can see them taking out Orange, or Orange have to compete with. Could very well earn that top 4 spot. So I think that's kind of the Elite right there, where Orange I put a little bit behind here. I still think all these teams are capable of beating teams ahead of them, but that would be the tier ranking I would kind of put teams on heading into the season. Now let's look down all the way to the Open. I think Mimosa might be a sign of a team that is down here. They're a newer team entering, so you kind of got to put them on the lowest run, even though another team who might be right there with Vader's Wrist, who's been around for a long time. Same thing. They're in the Open division. They kind of don't have the experience. They have lots of experience, but have maybe not had the success, and I would put them right there. A team in Challenger, who I think is right on the B level, is an easy one, is Hut, Hiveguard right there, on that level. You kind of got to put them, but also that, TRA is maybe just a little bit below them. A strong team who's improved and can compete with these ones, but these teams are all competing to get into the Open, and TRA has just been a step just behind them. Where Venom, a new team who is a mix of CA Red and Venom players now merged together. They're playing in the Open, but they could easily be a Challenger team and move up there, but these teams would be pretty even, I think, playing each other, so I kind of see that. The NRN, I kind of had the same logo for 2 of the teams. So this is the NRN Challenger 1, which would be, Rogue Alpha here, I would put them into the C tier. Whereas the new team in the Open, I would put them, Rogue Omega, they go into the D tier. So a newer team, it's tough. The Laser Rangers, though, who's a new team, I expect them to do really well this season. Possibly looking at, they're coached by Power Paladin. They have a deep lineup. I expect them to be pushing to win it with Vaders. I feel like those two would be the top two teams coming out of Open looking to get their promotion into the Challenger for next season. I could see that happening. And I would say this B tier is the deepest tier for sure because, you've got Nord Squadron, another new team, looking very strong with a lot of players with elite experience on that lineup. They're going to be competing with the Hive Guard, with Kintan Striders, a team who competed to get into elite and just lost out to Aluminium in that play-in match. So that's very tough. I mean, this middle B tier is so crazy competitive. ROG as well. If we look at them, the Italians have a new mix of players as well, where they've added Graf Luca to the teams, and they've got, a deeper lineup as well, and they're looking strong, so you can't write them off by any means. They're pushing for that. I feel like this B tier is crazy deep, how far it spans basically from the battles of Elite all the way to Challenger. Like, everyone has a chance there, and I mean, Helborgs, I don't even think they're easily right there too. And Sirens, I think, is the only team who's just maybe, played for a long time, but I think that it's just such a tight division in Challenger. You look at that, half the Challenger more is all right there. I mean, I think maybe I would put, just to balance it out, I think Helborgs might go down a slight notch just because of the depth of Challenger right now. I mean, you could look at it the other way and maybe move Orange up one and Savrup up one, but I feel like this is a better breakdown of how it is, middle heavy, which is kind of always the case in Squadrons. There's a lot of mid-tier teams trying to compete with the top level, a lot of teams in Elite trying to compete with the top of compete. This is Squadrons, and some new teams coming in, some on the bottom, some teams who have been around for a while, still plugging away, everybody reforming the group. It is interesting. We've got 20 teams of Squadrons here. Everyone is competitive. Now, when I do these tier rankings, a D-tier team could still beat an S-tier team on any given day, so it's an exciting season. I feel like this is the deepest season of SCL in Elite, in Challenger, in Open that we have ever seen. The players are all pretty much known to everyone else. There's no surprises in who you're playing, so you know what you're looking at. It'll be very interesting to see Squadrons this season, and that's my tier list. I've provided it in the link below, so you can do your own and give your thoughts. Thanks a lot for checking this out. I'm Time Bomb. You guys are awesome. And I will catch you guys later.